You've probably heard some of the Easter story recorded in the Bible, and maybe you know it quite well, but it can be a bit confusing trying to put all the events in the right order. So we have put together this timeline of Easter to help explain what happened and when.
Things really kicked off the week before Jesus was crucified, when he rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, surrounded by crowds of cheering people who thought he might be about to raise an army and kick out the Romans. This moment is celebrated on Palm Sunday, called that because the people waved palm branches, which is the Sunday before Easter Sunday.
Instead of attacking the Romans, however, Jesus spends the next few days verbally attacking the Jewish leaders for being hypocritical and not following the laws they taught so strongly. This particularly annoyed them, given that this was the week of Passover, possibly the most important Jewish festival.
The next key event happens on Thursday. Jesus gathered his disciples to share a special Passover meal. Think Christmas dinner, but with even more tradition. During this meal, Jesus takes some bread from the table. He passes it round and tells the disciples that this represents his body, which will be broken for them. Then he takes one of the cups of wine and passes it round again, saying this represents his blood, which will be spilled for them. The disciples don't understand, but we now know that he was referring to his imminent crucifixion. Christians remember this moment and Jesus' death by taking bread and wine in the act of communion or the Eucharist.
After the meal, Jesus goes out to a hillside to pray with a few of his disciples, who quickly fall asleep. Judas Iscariot, however, has slipped away to complete his bargain with the Jewish leaders. He leads them to Jesus, and they arrest him. They immediately put him on trial and quickly decide he is guilty of blasphemy, despite any real evidence of Jesus doing anything wrong, and they sentence him to death.
The Jews, however, can't put someone to death. That can only be done by the Romans who are in charge of the region. And so as Thursday night drags into Friday morning, Jesus is now put on trial with the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. Pilate can't find any fault with him, but the Jewish leaders stir up the crowd, and with the choice between killing one man or facing an angry mob, Pilate decides to have Jesus crucified.
Before midday on Friday, Jesus, having been whipped within an inch of his life already, is forced to carry his own cross out of the city, up a hill where he's nailed to the cross, hung up and left to die, along with two other criminals. Normally, this process would take many hours or even days, but at 3 p.m, Jesus died, and the Romans check by stabbing his side with a spear.
Because of the special Passover festival, some of Jesus' friends quickly get him buried before sunset, when the extended holiday weekend begins. The disciples stayed away during the weekend out of fear that they might be arrested too.
On the first day of the week, some women go to the tomb to place spices on the body. There hadn't been time to do it when Jesus was buried. But when they get there, they find the Roman guard gone, and they see that the stone blocking the entrance has been rolled away. They look inside and see that Jesus' body has also disappeared.
Some people might think that the Jewish leaders moved the body, but they never brought it out when the disciples claimed that Jesus was alive. Others say the Romans could have moved it, but they had no reason to. Most disciples were eventually killed for claiming the reason the tomb was empty was because Jesus had risen from the dead. This is what Christians are celebrating on Easter Sunday.
Jesus' death and resurrection are central to the Christian faith, not because of the dramatic events, but because that when he died, Christians believe Jesus took on all the evil and selfishness of the world. He was punished in the place of everyone else. And the Bible makes clear that those who choose to believe in him can receive God's forgiveness and begin a new life with God, a life that will last beyond death.